Hello and welcome to the Star Citizen News and Weekly Review for the week ending Sunday, the 27th of March. This one is a bit later than normal, guys. Sorry so much for that, but I had to grab a new computer. It's been the worst first world problem hell week ever. It's great to be back though, and I hope you stay with me while I catch up and get all my settings sorted for videos like this. Anyway, let's take a look at the headlines before anything else. Star Citizen 2.3 has been released. The Jean Scout is flight ready with that. It looks amazing. The Starfarer is hangar ready and is the largest ship we have to date. Both these ships are on sale until Monday the 4th of April. The new item system with this patch continues to be adding things and refactoring components. Power plants being the focus of the patch this time, adds another couple of power plants and refactors all the old ones, so they're all part of the new power system. There are some new FPS weapons, rewards and encounters too. They've added the Arrowhead sniper rifle. You get that now by killing a level 5 criminal. You can also get the Devastator 12 shotgun. You get this now from the Kovalex PI mission. That rewards that when you complete it. You can also now get that energy rifle, the previous one from I think 2.2, in Korea. So they've also added some salvage sites marked with green flares, which you can find various FPS weapons in cargo containers around there too. Pretty much all the ones I just listed and more. They've also did a variety of animation fixes and tweaks. They've doubled the radar scanning distance for ships in conjunction with missile rebalances they're doing. They've halved counter measure amounts as part of the missile balance again. And they've made some additional changes and improvements to turret dead zones and speed. Let's move on to the weekly review, looking at all of CIG's shows for that week past. 10 for the developers, Around the Verse and Reverse the Verse. 10 for the developers, episode 7. They asked a variety of questions. What's the best part of development? To them, it was having challenging puzzles to solve and all of the pieces coming together. What are they currently working on? They're currently working on the Caterpillar, both in its concept and white box stuff, as well as LODs for all the other ships that we currently have. What's the most successful ship? Or when is a ship seen as successful? When a ship has completed all of its various stages of development and it's also visually appealing, that's when it's considered a success. Optimization. They want the game to be as smooth and playable as possible, and for as many people to play it as they possibly can. Each ship is different though when considering their levels of detail and their assets for optimization though. Apparently the Merlin was overly complicated originally and resource hungry, so they've scaled that ship down. In regards to LODs, blockier ships are easier to make levels of detail for than curvier ones. The Caterpillar benchmark. So the Retaliator is currently the quality standard for all other ships to be marked to. The Caterpillar is the standard for Drake ships, with its improvements, assets and textures being used to improve that Drake series. The ship pipeline in general. So some ships being completed or worked on help out the development for other ships in the future. The Carrack, for example, when it's completed, should be able to help speed up the pipeline for other Anvil ships. Customizing ships. There are components and looks to ships that are specific to them and their manufacturers. There will be lots of customization for components in that regard though. So in regards to aesthetics, they are still in the works. At the moment, they're thinking that you're at least going to be able to change the colours and decals on your ship. Damage states. You'll be able to see where you've been damaged on your ship model based on where you literally were hit. This will be totally reflective of the damage that you actually got hit by. This is also important to repair as it will make use of these damage states. You're going to be repairing literally the bits of your wing that got hit, so your wing might be blown off, it might not be, it might be being held onto a thread, and you might be able to repair that with a hand repair tool. In Around the Verse Season 2, Episode 24, we found out some more other informational nuggets that are still relatively relevant. In Los Angeles, they're working on the Caterpillar and its crew quarters. In Austin, they are working on purchasing and hangar storage. That will be in our hands in the near future. They're currently also in the design phase of remote storage. This will be the loop of buying items and then being delivered to your hangar, among other things, and they're hoping that comes to us actually relatively soon. There's also work going into hangar customization through your Moby Glass, and they're making some pretty awesome UI stuff. in Foundry 42 UK. They're working on reviewing a vertical slice of Squadron 42, getting a stable build for that to show Chris. They've also been working on big ships like the Idris and Bengal, moving on to some further iterations of the Vandal after that. They're landing in the back of capital ships there as well. They're trying to get that worked out. Currently focus on the Idris down in Frankfurt. They've most what they can talk about is updates and improvements, of which there are a lot. There's obviously a lot there they can't talk about. Lots of work on the cinematics tools. The procedural planet tech is making great progress, apparently. They're working on AI balancing, pushing on subsumption as well. They're also working on a big landing zone there at the moment. And for the PU, there's a large base that they've been working on. The ATV interview was with Erin Roberts, Foundry 42's studio director and global head of production. In the wonderful world of Star Citizen, this episode focused on Mr. Combustible and Fire Spikes and the cool Star Citizen props and 3D ships that have been made. MVP for this week, or last week as it is now, was Fastcart for his incredibly in-depth spreadsheet detailing packages, past and present, and comparisons of them with standalone items as well. The new segment here is also called Around the Verse Fast Forward. This is replacing Art Sneak Peek and focuses on videos of what's happening with systems, mechanics and art. This week they talked about automated Foley driving sounds directly from movement in game with some all new sound sets too. There were a few other little informational nuggets in Reverse the Verse. There was confirmation that the Gamescom event is not cancelled, but there won't be a big presentation there. There'll be lots of meetups and that sort of stuff, and a booth too. There's no ETA on when we'll be able to fly out of our hangars, but it is something they're going to be working on. 2.4, the newest Star Citizen patch that is yet to be released, is in the works and aims to have an extra hangar-ready ship and an extra flight-ready ship too. Nyx has had a lighting pass and it's getting ready for some layout changes. They are still after more footage of Big Benny, that noodle machine. So if you've got any cool stuff like that, send it in. Ship updates now. So there's a few little extra bits we found out about ships that are in the works. The small mining ship is likely to be the next ship on concept sale, but no promises on that. The Carrack is still being worked on at the moment. The Caterpillar will be the standard for Drake ships in the future. The Idris is going through some flight testing at the moment. The Starfarer is looking to be flight ready as soon as possible. The Reliant is looking good for being included in 2.4. Auroras are also being reworked at the moment to bring them up to standard. The Herald is in active development since the Jean Scout became flight ready. They moved assets off the Jean Scout obviously now onto the Herald. The Dragonfly features a bike seat where the pilot leans forwards, and apparently that's pretty cool. Most other ships are on a list or schedule for later in this year too. More details on them later. Anyway, guys, that's it from this week's Star Citizen News and Weekly Review. It is great to be back, and I'm so sorry for being away. That was literally unavoidable, unfortunately. Thank you for everyone's kind words and worry about while I was away as well. Next time anything like that happens, I will try and get on the internet a bit more to tell people what's going on. You guys are absolutely great. Thank you so much. Your support and help really do help me. Like, you have no idea. So thank you so much, guys. It was nice to be wanted and missed. You take care, and I'll see you in the verse.